Hey guys, it's Alice. So we're going with the spotty, messy hair, I couldn't care less face today. This is just real life. This is how I look when I'm sat in my office. So that's what we're doing. So yeah, today's video, as you can probably tell from the title, is a Q&A about Freelance Fridays and like freelance life in general. And yeah, I asked these questions a couple of weeks ago and I've only just got around to filming them, so sorry. But if you don't already follow me on Instagram, make sure you do, because that's generally where I ask the questions. And I'm just going to get straight into it. So yeah, make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy it. Subscribe if you want. Let's go. Right, so have you found it difficult freelancing full-time, or have you taken it in your stride? So I have found it daunting. To be honest, I've always been freelance technically. Like, I've always worked for myself. And I think the security of knowing that I don't have rent to pay helps me. But I think if I had my own house, then freelancing would be scarier. Like, trust me, I haven't taken it in my stride. Like, there's moments where I'm like, oh my god, I've got no money coming in, what am I going to do? Help. But at the end of the day, I don't have any like major outgoing payments like rent and stuff. Like, I'm always going to have a roof over my head because luckily I still live with my parents. But that's not going to be the situation forever. So I don't know. I think I'm just kind of taking it day by day, not overthinking it too much. I mean, I overthink all the time, but I try not to as often. And yeah, just take it as it goes, enjoy what I'm doing, and the plan is to kind of not have a plan and just go with it and make what I like. And then if it makes me money, that's good. But yeah, it is scary. How are you doing graphic design as a job if you didn't do it as a degree? I don't think you necessarily need a degree to do graphic design, like especially freelance graphic design, because as long as you've got a creative flair and have the skills and are professional enough to deal with clients and whatever, it doesn't really matter. No one's ever asked me whether I've got a degree. Like, I don't think it makes a difference. But I suppose if you're going to work for another company and if they want designers to be qualified, maybe that's when my degree would come in handy. My degree is actually media production, but in my final year I did graphic design. So although like on paper it doesn't say graphic design, I am kind of qualified in graphic design, I guess. Like, not, my course definitely wasn't as intense and like knowledgeable, I guess, as like a purely based graphic design course, but it definitely helped. So yeah, I don't think degrees really play a part in it as much as you sometimes think. Oh, this question kind of links on. Suggestions for getting into freelance graphic design without doing a degree or going to uni. I'd say just practice. Follow tutorials online. Like, all the stuff, like most of the stuff I know, I taught myself over the years anyway, because I always loved Photoshop. I used to be a photographer. I taught myself photography. I followed tutorials and just kind of did it my own way. And that was kind of always how I did it. So kind of uni just supplemented that, and uni helped me apply all those things to like a business situation. Obviously I learned stuff at uni, but I think it did help that I knew things already. But yeah, I don't think you need a degree. There'll be like apprenticeships there. Like, obviously I haven't looked into this, but definitely speak to someone maybe from your school or college or whatever about apprenticeships for graphic design. But in general, the skills you can teach yourself, and that's what like Freelance Fridays are for. That's what so many online tutorials are for, and they're so helpful. What are the positive and benefits of freelance work? I really like that I can set my own schedule, but as well as that being a positive, it can also be a negative. For example, I have only just gotten out of my pyjamas, and it is 1:10. And technically I'm still in them because I've still got my pyjama bottoms on. But I mean, I have been working. So the positives are, if my mum now says to me, let's go out and see your grandma, I can go out because I can just switch around what I'm doing with work. But then that also means I need to be quite strict on myself to actually get that work done. And that's still something I need to practice. Because yes, I don't get up early enough in the morning anymore. I'm getting very lazy with my alarm. But then again, like last night I was still up working on my laptop at 9 PM. So I guess it kind of balances out. But I do really, really like the freedom of graphic design, of freelance work, I mean. So yeah, it is just a bit scary sometimes when you're like, it's just me, and if everything goes tits up, it's my fault. How to start getting noticed in the design world? I'd just say, I mean, I don't think I'm like getting noticed. I do think there's like a lot more I could be doing, but get LinkedIn, get an Instagram, get a Twitter, and put your work out there. Like, put yourself out there, use the hashtags, tag people who you've drawn, just get your name out there in whatever way you can. Make yourself a Facebook page. That's kind of how I started. And obviously I had my YouTube channel that I kind of like combined with my graphic design stuff, but I mean, I built that YouTube channel up from getting my name out there, so it's kind of all links together. So I did kind of have a little bit of a head start when I kicked into, like when I flicked over into freelance graphic design, because I had a following who would be willing to purchase it. But then again, I built that like audience up myself via getting my name out there. So you can do it for design. I've kind of just switched things over. Yeah, hashtags, Instagram, follow people who do similar stuff to you, share your work with them, comment on their work, share your like praise for other people's work, and then just kind of make what you enjoy and you'll slowly get better. How's the best way to start getting small commissions and paid commissions? Again, it kind of links in with that. So my thing was I was posting like drawings of people, and then I think like one of the first commissions I did was for my friend Molly, Beauty Spectrum, and I just did that for her as a one-off. That was the first ever like digital design I'd ever done. And then Sophie Foster, also a YouTuber, saw it, and she was like my first paid commission. And then from me doing Sophie's, loads of other people saw it. So it is kind of like word of mouth. It just depends on who picks your work up and who likes it. So by posting my things on Instagram, Facebook, wherever, it's just getting my face out there and it kind of snowballs. But I definitely do think there are ways of me getting more work, but I'll let you know when I figure that one out. What's the hardest part about working freelance? And then another question, how do you stay productive? Again, the hardest part about freelance is motivating yourself sometimes, because I don't have anyone telling me to do my work. I don't have anyone being like, get off your arse right now and get something done. Like, I just have to get myself out of bed, and I'm getting so lazy at getting out of bed in the morning. I need to sort that out. But I think as a person myself anyway, I'm quite motivated. Like, I'm such a workaholic, and if I'm not working for a little while, I feel guilty and I'll do some work. So yeah, the hardest part about freelance life is the motivation. Another part is definitely like the money. It's scary not having a set wage. Like, it'd be great to have a set wage and to know I'm getting X amount a week or whatever, but then I also wouldn't like to do 9 to 5 a week. So I've got to weigh up the pros and cons, and to me the pros of being freelance definitely outweigh the cons, so I'd rather just carry on doing this. Where do you find clients? Again, it's just via my social media channels. Word of mouth is like amazing. My YouTube channel now, obviously, and just social media. Social media is all I do to get my work, and it's working well for now. What made you pick the most recent design for your new merch? Also, how long did it take you to design? Oh gosh, I think I filmed the process of me designing that merch. Maybe I could make a video out of that if you want me to. But it took me a good few months to like put everything together. So I knew I wanted to do a desk planner, and that was the main thing, because I'd already made a desk planner in the past, and I had noticed things that I wanted to do differently. So I knew I wanted to make a new desk planner, and I knew I wanted it to be colourful, but that's kind of where I stopped. So I did the layout first, and I had the layout ready for like a couple of weeks. I'd printed it out and I'd tested it, and I really liked that. And then I was like, right, I'm going to release this merch in a couple of weeks. So I forced myself to sit down, and I was kind of inspired by like, it had a name, I can't remember what the name was. There's like an art style that uses like, it's kind of retro-y, and they use like bold shapes and colours and stuff. And I found a load of images on Google and literally just started scribbling on my iPad, and then took it over into Photoshop, and now I have my merch, which I'm going to have to cover up my stuff, but this is my merch. And yeah, this design kind of came from, I really liked the colour palette, and I liked that it's kind of retro-y and simple and cute and fun and something bright, and just use the same font that I've always used, that I really, really love. And yeah, that's kind of how that happened. How long did it take me? I mean, if I did it like solidly, it probably would have taken me a few days, but I kind of was thinking about the process for a while, so it took me a couple of weeks. Was it scary having a career planned out and then changing to freelance? I never really have had a career planned out, so I'm not sure what made you think I did, but I was always going to do my own work. So right from leaving sixth form, I got a job with a photographer, and I worked freelance for him. I wasn't contracted or anything, I just worked as and when, so that was freelance work. And then I wanted something different, so I went to uni, and then after uni I didn't have a plan. Like, I never have really known what I wanted to do or be. I knew it was going to be something creative, I've always said that, but I've always said I don't want a 9 to 5, so I didn't really have a career planned out. I never have had a plan, because I've worked out that 1, I get bored, and 2, they never go to plan, so I just don't plan. Would you like to have employees in the future and build your own company? Ooh, that's scary. I feel like right now, I've not really thought about this, because I'm not at the point where I can even afford employees, never mind thinking about having them. And I don't need them. Like, right now what I do is fine for one person, but maybe like employee wise, I would like someone to help me with emails if that ever got too much, and like accounts and like the boring stuff. So maybe I'd have like a PA, but not all the time, just like a few days a week. But to be honest, I wouldn't like the responsibility of being a boss, I don't think. So I think I'd always prefer to just work for myself and kind of do collaborations as and when, rather than own a company. I don't know, but like, never say never. Do you feel you took a risk being freelance? I feel like every freelancer is taking a risk because it's not certain. But then again, a 9 to 5 job also isn't certain. You can get made redundant and that's it. So yeah, definitely a risk, but I like it. How did you start getting into the freelance world? Can't wait to receive the stationery. Thank you so much for ordering it. And I started freelance work from when I was 16. So I was still at school, really creative, and I just wanted to earn money and have fun and make a business for myself. So I set up a photography business called Alice Thorpe Photography. I know, such an original name. I've never got much better with names, as you can tell. And I just taught myself photography, bought myself all the kit, and kind of went from there. I signed up as a business, I guess. I signed up for self-assessment. I paid taxes from that year. And there we go. That's kind of how it started. Okay, final few questions. Have you ever considered doing a master's degree in graphics? I think maybe at some point in the future I will have a desire to learn more and do something structured and like educational and push myself. Right now, I am completely done with the education system. So maybe ask me this in 2 or 3 years and I might say yes. But for now, I'm quite happy doing what I'm doing. But I do kind of like the community vibe of uni. But then after a year, I'm so done and I'm like, I need my own space and I need to make my own routine. I don't know, I'm so indecisive. What software do you use as a graphic designer? You'll see a recent video, which I will link on the screen somewhere, and I listed all the software. Can you film a video of designing your merch and how you get it from design into a product? I can definitely do that. If you guys want that, let me know. So yeah, that is the final question. Thank you to those of you who did ask me one. Sorry I didn't get to answer all of them, but this video is getting so long. If you do have any like burning questions you would like me to answer, let me know down in the comments below. And as always, send your suggestions for videos, anything you'd like me to do, any tips, whatever you have, please do get involved. Let's have a conversation. And yeah, thank you so much for watching till the end. Please don't forget to go and check out my Etsy store where I sell my merch. And yeah, I love you guys a lot and I'll see you soon. Bye.